The Strait of Hormuz is far more than just a narrow stretch of water. It stands as one of the most closely watched and strategically vital junctions on the planet. This slender corridor of silent tension serves as a delicate lifeline between Iran and Oman, connecting the Persian Gulf to the vast open waters of the Indian Ocean. On any map, it may appear to be nothing more than a simple shipping lane, yet in reality it functions as the busiest and most critical maritime artery in the world. War, massive oil tankers, naval patrols, and the constant undercurrent of geopolitical friction move through its waters in a carefully choreographed dance of power and precaution. Each day, an enormous share of the world's energy supply flows through this confined passage. Much of it is destined for the fast-growing economies of Asia, countries located thousands of miles away that quietly depend on every safe transit through this single choke point. Nothing here is left to chance. Ships follow strictly designated lanes. Radar systems track every movement with unrelenting precision. Satellites watch from above like silent guardians. It is a place where even the smallest misunderstanding can ripple outward far beyond the horizon, affecting global fuel prices, unfares, international markets, and the daily lives of people sitting on the opposite side of the planet. Yet, amid all this tension, Hormuz reveals a surprisingly tender and breathtaking side that softens its otherwise stern reputation. Beyond the warships and surveillance towers lies an extraordinary natural beauty. Reddish sands blend with turquoise waves to create vivid, almost surreal landscapes. Mineral-rich valleys glow with colors so intense that nature itself seems to be painting with an artist's palette. Silent salt caves shimmer as if they have been waiting patiently for centuries just to catch a visitor's eye. Ancient fortifications still stand watch over the strait like stone sentinels from another era. Geographically, the region offers very little room for error. Ships must adhere to rigid rules, and every decision carries enormous weight. Although the strait itself is modest in width, its global impact is immense. Vast quantities of crude oil and liquefied natural gas pass through here daily, reminding us that no matter how large the world feels, everything can sometimes hinge on a single narrow path. The real secret of Hormuz lies in this compelling duality, outwardly calm yet inwardly watchful, constantly calculating. Control here is not always about displays of force. It is about presence, alertness, and the ability to act decisively at exactly the right moment. Sometimes the most powerful message requires no words at all, only perfect timing. Just off the southern coast of Iran, Chesham Island serves as a quiet witness to the entire story. On one side, the Persian Gulf gradually opens toward the sea. On the other, the mainland rises with its busy ports and infrastructure. At first glance, the island may appear dry and unremarkable, but its location has turned it into an invisible yet formidable strategic presence. Navigation in these waters is no longer merely about travel. It has become an exercise in constant observation, deep understanding, and careful forecasting. This principle is not new. The idea of controlling vital sea routes has existed for centuries. Today, the tools have changed radar, and satellites have replaced older methods, but the fundamental truth remains unchanged. Whoever controls the path ultimately influences the future. At the heart of all this activity sits Hormuz Island itself, the focal point of regional tension. Though it looks peaceful from a distance, it is one of the most intensively monitored places on Earth. Radar stations scan the horizon without pause. Patrol boats glide along fixed routes at measured speeds. Surveillance posts track every vessel with unwavering attention. Even the sea itself seems aware that it is constantly being watched. In certain sections of the strait, the shipping lanes grow so narrow that large Oil tankers must follow precise lines with no room for shortcuts or mistakes. Row. In such a confined space, even a small island becomes a position of outsized strategic importance. Across the water, Oman's Musandam Peninsula plays its own vital role in this delicate equation. Its rocky shores, deep fjords, and hidden bays offer more than scenic beauty. They serve as natural outposts of observation and control. Here, every ship's speed and route are tightly regulated, creating a heightened sense of predictability and therefore sensitivity. An invisible tension lingers beneath the calm surface. Navies from various nations conduct regular patrols, monitoring every movement. Everyone feels the undercurrent, though few speak of it openly. There are moments when warships from different countries come so close that faces can almost be recognized through binoculars. Radio conversations crackle across the water, sometimes firm, sometimes cautious. Even in physical proximity, the distance between intentions remains carefully measured. Standing as a silent witness to this modern drama is the historic Portuguese fortress on Hormuz. Built in the 16th century, it once served as a bustling center of maritime trade. Ships from that era carried spices, silk, pearls, and silver along routes that linked distant continents. Time has left its mark on the stone walls, yet the fortress still gazes out to sea, quietly recounting stories of the past. Nearby, the old town of Keshem moves to a much slower rhythm. Here, people have learned to live in harmony with nature across the centuries. Narrow lanes wind between traditional mud and coral buildings. Sesotry. Wind towers rise overhead, naturally cooling homes without any need for electricity. Centuries ago, sailors from many nations passed through these ports, forging connections between faraway coasts through trade. Today the pace is gentle and measured, but the echoes of those old maritime days still linger in the air. Most importantly, the region carries a rich cultural heritage recognized by UNESCO as part of the world's invaluable intangible legacy. Hormuz reminds us that power and beauty, history and the present, can coexist to create something truly unique. Every wave seems to hide an untold story. A living maritime tradition continues along the coast of Keshem Island. The massive traditional wooden lenge boats are still built here by hand, using Kleinixfuhl, Trez. The massive tredilt, using techniques passed down through generations. In Artsenlingi Shiri, this craftsmanship was officially inscribed on UNESCO's list of intangible cultural heritage. The half-finished hull of a new vessel often stands on the new vessel, quiet shoreline like a living creature, slowly emerging from the sand. Thick wooden beams rise like ribs. Skilled craftsmen shape each plank with patient, experienced hands. The soft rasp of saws and the rhythmic tap of hammers create a harmonious music that feels far removed from the hurried world of modern machinery. These ships once linked Persia with Arabia, India, and even the eastern coast of Africa. Even today, some vessels exceed 30 meters in length and are built entirely by hand. There is no place for haste here, only perfection, deep knowledge of the material, and an almost reverent respect for the craft. When you look closely, the true beauty becomes clear. Curved planks fit together seamlessly with no gaps, forming a hull that is both strong and graceful. This art does not shout for attention, yet once seen, it is impossible to look away. Beyond strategy and surveillance, the region possesses an invisible rhythm all its own. Time flows more slowly in certain corners where air, water, and human skill combine to create an enduring sense of harmony. Ropes are tied with care. The ship seems to take a deep breath before the final wooden pieces are secured. When the completed vessel is finally launched into the water for the first time, the entire port seems to pause. For a brief moment, the waves themselves grow still, and a new boat joins the long, proud history of Persian Gulf seafaring. Seafaring. Another wonder of Keshem Island, lies hidden in its remarkable geology. The Keshim Geopark is a vast open-air classroom where the land itself tells stories written over millions of years. Every layer of rock holds an infinite narrative of time. The Saragiri canyons twist through pale stone, while the wind whispers ancient tales. Intense sunlight illuminates mountain peaks before plunging them into deep shadow, creating an endless play of light and darkness. This is an ancient land. Standing anywhere within it makes you feel like a very recent guest. As the first UNESCO Global Geopark in the Middle East, it features dramatic salt domes, folded mountains, and valleys carved patiently by time. In some places, stone crumbles like dry soil. In others, it sparkles with salt crystals. Even in the surrounding dryness, light finds its own way to shine. Yet life persists. Mangrove forests along the tile edges breathe in rhythm with the sea. Birds wheel silently across the sky. The wind returns again and again like an old friend. The island never rushes. It simply listens and allows the world to write its stories at its own unhurried pace. Now let us look at Hormuz Island through a different lens. Rainbow Valley is a place where the very soil seems to have been painted by an artist who emptied an entire palette onto the landscape. 4. A mixture of sulfur and salt has produced vivid shades of red, orange, yellow, and even golden hues. It feels almost unreal. Orange layers drape across reddish slopes, while dark volcanic rock cuts through like bold brushstrokes on a canvas. There was no plan, no deliberate design, only heat, pressure, and countless years of natural forces at work. The wind moves slowly across the colorful sand, lifting particles in new patterns with every storm or rain. The landscape is never quite the same twice, like a painting that continues to evolve. Beneath this vibrant surface lies another hidden world, the salt caves of Hormuz. As soon as you step inside the vast salt dome, the oppressive outside heat vanishes. White and amber-colored walls glitter softly in gentle light, glowing in shades of gold, pink, and gray. Surfaces are sometimes smooth, sometimes deeply grooved. Over time, growing crystals have written their own stories across every wall. Occasional streams of mineral-rich water trickle through, slowly melting salt and carving fresh pathways. It is a slow but incredibly steady process. Each drip reminds us that patience may be nature's most powerful force. From above, Hormuz may appear rugged and ordinary, yet inside these caves exists a world of crystal tunnels and silent transformation. Hard rock gradually shaped into luminous chambers by the patient hand of time, with no shortcuts allowed. Suddenly, the scenery shifts again. A narrow waterway flows between towering mountains whose reflections dance on the calm surface. High cliffs rise on either side, like silent guardians. This is the Arabian Fjord of Oman's Musandam Peninsula, where mountains do not merely meet the sea, they plunge dramatically into it. Limestone cliffs have risen gradually over thousands of years of geological change, while the sea has carved deep grooves in its own unhurried rhythm. Viewed from the water, the mountains appear to climb layer by layer, as though nature built herself a staircase. Narrow bays and hidden valleys offer peaceful shelters. The water changes color from deep blue to brilliant turquoise, as if the sea itself is playing. In the midst of this vast silence, life continues. Wooden boats drift gently. Fishermen travel between small villages. Wind brushes against the cliffs. Birds glide overhead. There is a profound peace here, as if nature understands there is nothing left to prove. Even in this harsh environment, life has found its place. Arabian tar climb the steep slopes. Desert foxes emerge at dusk in search of food. Vultures and other birds of prey circle high above. Small trees and hardy grasses survive against the odds, proving that adaptation is the true strength of life. At the end of this journey through the Strait of Hormuz, a strange and lasting feeling remains. Hormuz is not merely a strategic route. It is a full experience where history, nature, and human life converge in remarkable ways. There is tension and excitement, yet also quiet beauty. Waves meeting red sand, calm waters beneath mountain shadows, landscapes sculpted patiently by time all combine to tell one unique story. If this journey has helped you see the world with fresh eyes, remember that the story never truly ends. In every corner of the globe, there are new places, new tales, and new experiences waiting to be discovered. We will meet again on another path, on another journey. Please like this video if you enjoyed it, and share it with others who might appreciate learning more. Let us know your thoughts in the comments below. If you are new here, please subscribe and stay with us for more fascinating explorations. Thank you so much for watching.